Hey guys, in this video, I want to respond to one of the questions that I received from one of the viewers. And this is related to labor yield variance. And I feel a lot of candidates can take advantage from this question and response. So let's get right into the question. The question says the LKO company uses two different types of labor to produce its product. In 20x8, LKO expected to produce 10,000 units, but it actually produced 10,800 units. Information about labor usage is as follows. Labor types, there are two types of labor, A and B, and their standard wage rates are given, $12 and $20. And then the standard usage for the product is 5 hours per unit for A, 3 hours per unit for B. Actual wage rate is also given, $14 for A and $19 for B. And actual total hours for A is 51,000 and for B is 34,000 hours. Based on this information, what is LKO's labor yield variance for 20x8 variance? So let's get into that right away. So employee A. So let's start with employee A here. Employee A is supposed to, so for the 10,800 units that were produced, he was supposed to use 5 hours per unit, so that would be 54,000 hours he was supposed to use. Now, 54,000 hours multiplied at the standard rate of 12 yields $648,000 to be spent by employee A. Now, let's take a look at employee B. At 10,800 units, employee B was supposed to spend, at 3 hours per unit, approximately 32,400 hours. 32,400 hours. So 32,400 hours. Multiply that by the standard rate of 20 yields 648,000 again. Okay, so in total, if you just add these two numbers, you're supposed to spend $1,296,000. $1,296,000, and divide that, and if you divide that by the total number of hours, which is 86,400, that's totaling 54,000 plus the 32,400, will give you an average rate that was used of $15. Okay, now let's see what happened in actual here. So employee A, let's go back here, used 51,000 hours and employee B used 34,000 hours. Employee A used 51,000 hours. And employee B, I'm going to write that here, used 34,000 hours. So at 51,000 hours, times the standard rate of 12, we're looking at a total spend of 612,000. So that's how much he should have spent at 51,000 actual hours. And at 34,000 hours, employee B, 20 $20 per hour, should have spent $680,000, which is a total of $1,292,000 here. And if you divide that by the total of 51,000 and 34,000, which is 85,000, you get an average rate of $15.2. So now if you see the average rate of $15 using the flexible budget, it's less than the average rate when you look at the actual hours. So 15.2 versus $15. And this is pretty explainable, the 15.2, because if you take a look here, 54,000 of 86,400 total hours is approximately 62.5%. And 32,400 of 86,400 is approximately 37.5%. Okay, so you're supposed to use 62.5% of employee A's help and 37.5% of employee B's help. However, in reality, what happened is, if you look at 51,000 of 85,000 is approximately 60% of employee A's help. And 34,000 of 85,000 is approximately 40%. So what's happening here is you're using a different mix. You're using more of employee B. You're supposed to use 37.5% of employee B's help because he has a higher rate of $20 per hour. You're supposed to use less of him according to the flexible budget at 37.5%, but you use 40%. So certainly your average rate is going to be higher, and that is the case here at 15.2. So to find the yield variance, what we're supposed to do here is take a look at the total hours you are supposed to spend in creating these products, which is 86,400, and minus the total hours you really happen to spend, which is 85,000 hours, which gives you a total of 1,400 hours. And this is favorable because you're supposed to spend 86,400, but you only spend 85,000 hours. So you saved 1,400 hours. Now, if you take that 1,400 hours and multiply that by the rate, and anytime you multiply the quantity or the hours to the rate is always going to be a standard rate. So the standard rate, and we know the average standard rate here is $15. So we're going to use that $15. And that brings us to $21,000 in favorability. And another simple way to answer this question, let me just go through that as well real quick. Another simple way to answer this question will be, you're given two rates, one at $12 and one at $20. You want to come to an average rate that you can use. And the way to come to that average rate is, remember, here we created the flexible budget. So for 10,800 units at 5 hours, you're supposed to use 54,000 hours. And at 10,800 hours at 3 hours per unit, you're supposed to use 32,400 hours. So 54,000 plus 32,400 is equal to 86,400 total hours. So 54,000 divided by 86,400 gives you 62.5%, and 32,400 divided by 86,400 will give you 37.5%. So if you use those percentage to the rate, so times 62.5% times 37.5%, this will yield $7.5, and this will yield $7.5 as well. And that's your average rate of $15. So now use the flexible budget of 86,400 hours minus the actual hours of 85,000, which yields 1,400 favorable hours. Multiply the 1,400 favorable hours to the rate, and the rate is always going to be standard in this case, and that's the average standard rate at 15 will give you the $21,000 in favorability. I hope this helps, and if you have any further question regarding the CMA exam or CMA related questions, please comment below and I will be happy to answer. Good luck.